I stared at my phone screen in disbelief, scrolling through the elaborate Instagram posts my mother had been sharing all week. Golden balloons, champagne flutes, designer dress shopping, cake tastings, all the preparations for my parents' 30th wedding anniversary celebration. A celebration I apparently wasn't invited to. The photos showed my sister Catherine trying on bridesmaid-style dresses with my cousins, my brother David taste-testing appetizers with his wife, and even my teenage nephews getting fitted for matching ties. Everyone was there except me. The final post, uploaded just an hour ago, showed the family gathered around a massive anniversary cake during what looked like a rehearsal dinner. Mom's caption read, "Tomorrow's the big day. So grateful to celebrate 30 beautiful years with our family only. Some moments are too precious for outside distractions. #family first, #30 years, #blessed. Family only. Outside distractions." I set my phone down on my desk and stared out the floor-to-ceiling windows of my downtown office. The city sprawled below me, lights twinkling in the early evening darkness. After building a $47 million real estate empire over the past 8 years, I thought I'd grown immune to my family's casual cruelty. Apparently not. My assistant knocked softly on the door. "Ms. Reynolds? The Henderson booking confirmation just came through for tomorrow's event at Grandview Estates. Everything's set for the anniversary celebration." I looked up, a slow smile spreading across my face. "Actually, Lisa, there's been a change of plans. Could you get me David Morrison on the phone? The venue director at Grandview Estates." "Of course. Should I schedule a site visit for Monday's board meeting while I have him on the line?" "No need. This is about a different matter entirely." As Lisa left to make the call, I opened my laptop and pulled up the management portal for Reynolds Property Group. Grandview Estates appeared on my screen, a stunning venue I'd purchased 3 years ago and transformed into the most sought-after event space in the city. The same venue my parents had somehow managed to book for tomorrow night, apparently without realizing who owned it. My phone buzzed with an incoming call. "Ms. Reynolds? This is David Morrison at Grandview Estates. How can I assist you this evening?" "Hello, David. I need to discuss the Henderson booking for tomorrow night, the 30th anniversary celebration." "Absolutely. It's going to be a beautiful event. We have everything prepared exactly as requested. The grand ballroom with the crystal chandeliers, premium wine service, the 7-course dinner, live jazz quartet, and the special floral arrangements." Mrs. Henderson was very specific about wanting everything to be perfect. I leaned back in my leather chair, considering my options. "David, I need you to cancel that booking immediately." There was a pause. "Cancel? Ms. Reynolds, the event is tomorrow evening. The family has paid the deposit and we've been preparing for weeks. Is there a facility issue?" "There's no facility issue. This is a personal matter. Please cancel the Henderson booking and refund their deposit immediately." "Of course, Ms. Reynolds. Should I call Mrs. Henderson to inform her, or would you prefer to handle that communication yourself?" I smiled, imagining my mother's face when she received that phone call. "You can call her. Just explain that the venue is no longer available for their event." "Understood. I'll take care of it right away. Actually, yes. I want you to book the grand ballroom for tomorrow night under my name instead. I'll be hosting my own event." "Certainly. What type of celebration should we prepare for?" I thought for a moment, an idea forming. "A charity fundraiser. Contact all of our premium catering partners and tell them it's for the Children's Education Foundation. I want this to be impressive." "How many guests should we prepare for?" "Start with 50 confirmed. And David? Make sure the press knows about it. This kind of last-minute charity event always makes for great publicity." After ending the call, I opened my contacts and began making calls. Within 2 hours, I'd confirmed 43 guests for tomorrow night's fundraiser. People who actually knew me, respected my work, and valued my friendship. People who wouldn't consider me an outside distraction. My phone rang at 8:47 p.m. Mom's contact photo lit up the screen. "Hello, Mother." "Emma, what the hell is going on?" Her voice was shrill with panic. "The venue just called and canceled our anniversary party. They said the space is no longer available. Do you have any idea how humiliating this is? I have 67 people coming tomorrow night." "That sounds stressful," I said calmly. "I'm sure you'll figure something out." "Figure something out? Emma, This is Grandview Estates. Do you know how long the waiting list is for that venue? Actually, I do know. I also know you booked it for a family-only celebration. There was silence. Then, Emma, what are you talking about? I saw your Instagram posts, Mom. Very clear about who was and wasn't family enough to be included. You're being dramatic. You know how busy you are with your little real estate projects. We didn't want to burden you with family obligations. Little real estate projects. Even now, even in crisis, she couldn't acknowledge what I'd built. Well, you don't need to worry about burdening me anymore, I said. I'm sure you can find a nice community center for tomorrow night. Emma, you cannot be serious. This is our 30th anniversary. And I'm sure it will be lovely wherever you end up hosting it. Just remember to keep it family only. I hung up and blocked her number. Then Catherine's. Then David's. Then Dad's. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Emma, your mother is hysterical. Please call us back. We can work this out. I deleted the message without responding. Saturday morning brought activity at my downtown loft. My stylist arrived at 10 a.m. with dress options for the evening's fundraiser. My event coordinator called to confirm everything at Grandview Estates was progressing perfectly. At 11 a.m., my phone rang with a call from Catherine. Emma, you have to help us. Mom is having a complete breakdown. She's called every venue in the city and nothing is available. Dad's business partners are flying in from Seattle for this party. Catherine, I'm surprised you're calling me. According to Mom's Instagram, I'm not really family. That Instagram post? Emma, you know Mom didn't mean it like that. Is that what we're calling it? Look, I know you're upset, but Dad's health hasn't been great lately, and this anniversary means everything to them. Please, if you know anyone who could help. I considered telling her the truth, that I owned the venue they'd booked, that I'd deliberately canceled their event. But something held me back. I might know someone, I said finally. There's a hotel ballroom downtown that might have availability. The Riverside Hotel. Can you call them? Mom's too upset to handle it herself. I'll see what I can do. I hung up and called the Riverside Hotel, a property I'd considered purchasing but passed on due to needed renovations. Within 20 minutes, I'd secured their largest ballroom for my parents' party. It was tired and dated, but it was available. I called Catherine back with the details. They had a cancellation. 7 p.m. start time, basic catering package. It's not glamorous, but it's functional. Emma, you're a lifesaver. How much do we owe you? Consider it my anniversary gift to Mom and Dad. The irony wasn't lost on me. I was paying for my parents to celebrate at a mediocre venue while I hosted an elegant charity fundraiser at the space they'd actually wanted. That afternoon I spent 2 hours getting ready. My hairstylist created an elegant updo, and I selected a stunning navy blue gown that had cost more than my parents' entire anniversary party. As my driver pulled up to Grandview Estates at 6:30 p.m., I felt satisfaction and sadness. The venue looked magical, soft lighting illuminated the gardens, and through the windows, I could see the grand ballroom transformed into something from a fairy tale. David Morrison met me at the entrance. Ms. Reynolds, everything is perfect. Your guests have been arriving and the photographer from City Magazine is here documenting the event. Wonderful. How did the Henderson family's relocation go? They seemed disappointed with their new venue choice, but they made it work. Mrs. Henderson called 3 times today asking if we'd had any cancellations. The evening exceeded all expectations. My guests were engaging, the catering was flawless, and we raised $87,000 for the Children's Education Foundation in 4 hours. The photographer captured beautiful moments throughout the night. At 9:30 p.m., my assistant approached with a concerned expression. Ms. Reynolds? There's a situation at the front entrance. A woman claiming to be your mother is demanding to speak with you. Security has asked her to leave twice. I sighed, setting down my champagne flute. I'll handle it. I found Mom in the lobby, still wearing the expensive gold dress she'd bought for her anniversary celebration, but looking haggard and desperate. Her makeup was smudged and her usually perfect hair was disheveled. Emma. Thank God. That hotel Catherine found was awful. Absolutely awful. The food was terrible, the lighting was harsh, and the carpet smelled like cigarettes. Your father's business partners were clearly embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, maintaining my composure. Look, I know we didn't handle the invitation situation well, but surely you understand why we kept things small. These milestone events are about the original family unit. The original family unit, I repeated slowly. Yes. Your father and me, Catherine and David, the grandchildren. The core family. And I'm not part of the core family? Mom looked around the stunning lobby. Of course you're family, sweetheart. You're just different. You've built this whole other life with your business. We didn't want to pull you away from all that. So you decided I was too busy to be included? We decided you were too successful for our little family party, Mom said. Look at this place. You've outgrown us, Emma. We didn't want to bore you. I stared at her, finally understanding. They hadn't excluded me out of malice. They'd excluded me because they'd convinced themselves I was too important to want to share in their joy. Mom, I said gently, I would have given anything to celebrate with you tonight. I don't care about expensive venues. I just wanted to be included in your happiness. Her face crumpled. Oh, Emma. We got it so wrong, didn't we? Before I could answer, David Morrison appeared. Ms. Reynolds? City Magazine wants more photos. The article about tonight's fundraiser is going to be their cover story next month. Mom's eyes widened. Cover story? This is David Morrison, I said, watching understanding dawn on her face. He's the venue director here at Grandview Estates. You work here? Mom asked David. I work for Ms. Reynolds, David clarified. She owns Grandview Estates. The color drained from Mom's face. Owns it? Emma owns this venue? Dad's voice came from behind us. He'd followed Mom inside along with Catherine and David, all still wearing their formal clothes from their disappointing anniversary celebration. Among other properties, I confirmed. Grandview Estates is part of Reynolds Property Group. Catherine gasped. Reynolds Property Group? The company that's been buying buildings downtown? The one that donated the new wing to the Children's Hospital. The same one. Dad sat heavily in one of the lobby's elegant chairs. Emma, how long have you owned this place? 3 years. I bought it when the previous owners were facing foreclosure, renovated it completely and turned it into what you see now. 3 years, Mom whispered. We've been trying to book events here for 3 years, never knowing you could have just asked your daughter, I finished. The silence stretched long. Finally, Catherine spoke. So when we called to book this venue, you were booking it from me. When your reservation was cancelled. You cancelled it, Dad said, realization heavy in his voice. I cancelled it. But why? Mom asked, tears streaming down her cheeks. If you own this place, why didn't you just tell us? I looked at my parents and siblings, all dressed up for a celebration that had turned into a disaster, all finally understanding what they'd done. Because I wanted to see if you'd notice I was missing, I said simply. I wanted to see if any of you would realize that excluding me was wrong. Dad's shoulders sagged. It mattered, sweetheart. We talked about you all night. Catherine kept saying the party felt incomplete. Then why didn't you call me? Why didn't you invite me in the first place? Because we're idiots, Catherine said bluntly. Because we convinced ourselves you were too busy and successful to want to spend time with us. I felt my composure starting to crack. All I wanted was to be included. I don't care about expensive venues. I just wanted to share in your happiness. Mom stepped forward tentatively. Can you forgive us? I looked at my family, really looked at them. They were flawed and sometimes thoughtless, but they were also genuinely remorseful. There's something else you should know, I said. Tonight's event raised $87,000 for the Children's Education Foundation. All of it is being donated in honor of Richard and Patricia Henderson's 30th wedding anniversary. Dad's eyes filled with tears. You honored us even after we hurt you. Because that's what family does, I said. Even when they mess up. Mom laughed through her tears. That stupid Instagram post. You are family, Dad said firmly. You're the most successful, generous, amazing daughter we could have asked for. I looked around at my actual family and the elegant venue where my chosen family was still celebrating inside. There's still champagne and cake upstairs, I said. If you'd like to join the real celebration. Are you sure? Catherine asked. It's a party honoring your anniversary, I reminded them. I think it's appropriate for you to be there. As we walked toward the elevators, Dad took my arm gently. Emma, How much did this place cost? I smiled. Let's just say it was worth every penny to see your faces when you realized I own it. The charity fundraiser continued until nearly midnight, with my parents and siblings joining the celebration. By the end of the evening, Mom was deep in conversation with the photographer about featuring the Children's Education Foundation, and Dad was discussing investments with my business partner. As the last guests departed, my family and I sat in the now quiet grand ballroom, sharing a final bottle of champagne. Next year, Mom said, we're doing this right. One big celebration, everyone invited. Deal, I agreed. But I'm planning it. Of course you are, Catherine laughed. You own all the best venues. I raised my champagne flute. To second chances and real family celebrations. To our daughter, Dad added, who taught us that success isn't about exclusion, it's about inclusion. As we toasted in the venue I'd built, surrounded by the family I'd chosen to forgive, I realized that sometimes the best celebrations come from the worst misunderstandings. Sometimes you have to lose something to understand what it was really worth.